Good Friday morning. Today's Friday, August 11, 2023. This is your Friday safety meeting. I'm Dennis Davis. I work in the safety department. With me is Dave White, also in our safety department. Good morning, Dave.
Good to see you back on the mic, Dennis.
All right. Always good to be here with the good folks.
There you go, buddy.
With the microphone in my hand. So we do this Friday safety meeting every single Friday morning, 52 Fridays a year. So if you're here at the terminal, Pittston, Salt Lake, or Springfield, please join us. Breakfast is free, so if you haven't got breakfast yet, jump in line. I didn't see John Blanchett over there yet this morning, but usually when he makes an appearance, John Blanchett is in charge of all of the food and catering at all of our locations. So let's give him and his folks a round of applause for getting our hungry truckers taken care of at each of our locations. Thank you guys so much. So also we simulcast this at each of our terminals. So let's go east first. Let's see who we got with us. Good morning. I think we got Rick Ifford.
Good morning. Pleasure to be here.
Always a pleasure. So looks like we got a different angle this morning. So that's always a little bit different. Tell us what you got going on in Pittston.
Hey, what's going on? It's a great week this week. We had a good crowd in orientation, and we got some guys down on the pad working on pre-trips and getting their CDL licenses. So it's been a good week.
Awesome. So you guys got some exciting stuff coming up tonight and this weekend, right?
Yeah, we got a million mile dinner coming up tonight and 10-year dinner at the same time. And tomorrow is our picnic. We're going to have a little picnic here, and everybody's welcome and invited. All
right. I'm going to have you put your meteorologist hat on. Is the weather going to cooperate?
It is. We're gonna have some. It's gonna be a halfway decent day. A little cloudy, but it's gonna be in the 70s, low 80s. It's gonna be a nice day.
Well, good. Hopefully, tons of friends and family will come out tomorrow. Tonight is a special night. One of my favorite events that we do, the Million Mile Dinner. Looking forward to joining you guys tonight.
Hey, we're glad to have you, and tomorrow's we're gonna have some great prizes for the bingo and some handouts, door prizes. So yeah, it's gonna be a great time.
All right, awesome. So if anybody there in Pittston has any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to jump on the microphone.
Hey, it's a pleasure to have you back at the mic.
Thanks. All right, let's go west. Good morning, Salt Lake City. Good morning, Aaron. How you doing?
Good morning, Dennis. Yes, we are here. We've had a good week, good training week out here. A lot of people have come in to upgrade in Salt Lake. We had a lot of trucks to get rid of, so filling those up. And the weather is back to where it should be for this time of year, low 90s and sunny.
You say that, we've already started putting some plans together and for winter. It'll be here before we know it, especially for you folks out west.
No doubt. We know that's always on the way. So we had record snowfall last year. Not sure what'll happen this year, but we're going to be ready either way.
All right. So I think you guys got some fun stuff coming up. Not this week, but 2 weeks. Is that right?
That's correct. We've got our Million Mile Dinner and 10-year dinner combined. That'll be on the 25th. And then the following day on the 26th, we'll have our picnic.
All right, so I'm pretty sure that information has gone out over the app. You guys are already getting tons of RSVPs coming in. So picnic. Tell me your favorite thing about the picnic.
Well, out here in Salt Lake, bingo is always a big deal. Lots of good prizes that we give out, and that's a crowd favorite for sure.
Absolutely, I like bingo too. I like winning stuff. So hopefully you can tune in and win a couple of things. Get you a Yeti cooler or something like that. Take home, maybe give to me. I'll take. You don't need something like that. So, but good deal. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to jump on the microphone.
Sure will. Thanks, guys.
All right, right back here, Springfield, Missouri. Good morning, folks. Yeah! That's right. Don't let those Salt Lake City guys outdo us here. I want to say welcome to everybody that's here with us this morning here in Springfield. I do see some neon vests around the room, so that means we've got some new folks, and I think I saw some at each of our locations. So at each of our locations, if you're a new associate with us, new to the Prime family, if you would stand for just a second and give us an opportunity to properly welcome you. Awesome. Good to see. Good to see. We've been pretty, lean on who we bring in here lately. So, you folks that have made the cut, congratulations, job well done. That means you've got a fantastic driving record. That means you've got a pretty solid work history before coming here. So good deal. Vice versa, what that also means is with that great driving record and with that great work history, you probably had a lot of options on what company you wanted to go to. You had the pick of the litter. And we are so glad that you chose Prime. We don't ever pretend to be perfect. I'm sure you figured that out over the social medias, that we're not perfect. But, we strive to be as best as we can be. And that's one of the reasons we do this, and we're transparent. So I'm sure that all of our current folks and all of our new folks know that, we are live across the socials right now, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. So anybody in the world that wants to tune in and figure out what we've got going on, this means the good guys and the bad guys. This means the friends and the foes. This means the customers and the competitors. Everybody that wants to tune in to what we've got going on here, they've got a bird's eye view.
No doubt, Dennis, and you're right on. Big shout out to all of our folks out there and all of our associates who are driving down the road, hauling freight for us. I want to give a thank you for what you do. Thank you for listening this morning. If you're out there and you're going by Pittston here this weekend or tonight or tomorrow, you want to swing in there, please do so, man. That picnic's fun, Dennis. When I started here, we had picnic, and I was like, man, the only people go to picnic, or they go to bingo, I should say, are the old people. My grandma used to go there to play bingo years ago, and I was like, hey, went to the Prime bingo deal, and it is something else. There's some great prizes. Many of them are donated by our vendors back there in the back. So thank you very much, all of our vendors that are here this morning. Yeah, big round of applause for our vendors on that. Yeah, they do a great job. And like Dennis says, man, there'll be Yeti coolers. I've even seen steer tires in there that people can win. And you just get the right card and you play bingo, you get it. And I know my kids love it. It's open for all ages, from your kids all the way up to you all. And that's what it's about. It's about having fun. And, out in Salt Lake, same thing, a couple weeks later on the 26th, if you're out that direction, swing on in, man. Always good food too, as well. We never go short on the food side of it here at Prime. So, but of course, we mentioned Salt Lake, we mentioned Pittston. We got to mention the granddaddy of them all. Yeah, coming September 1st here in Springfield is our truck driving championships, and September 2nd is the picnic here. So I'll get back to that here in a minute. We'll cover that a little bit, get a little bit more in depth. But welcome to everybody, especially all of our new folks too, as well, all of our new associates. Welcome to Prime. You're part of our family, and we'd love to have you. And hopefully you looked into us and you kind of checked this out a little bit before you came. And all the ones that are here, all of our associates, they're just getting their CDL. That's fine. You're in for a lot of learning, and that's great. But you're at the right company to do that. We got a lot of great trainers here, and our system's set up for you to succeed, and that's what it's about. So, a lot of great speakers this morning, Dennis. I won't ramble on too long, but we got a good program today. We got an excellent meeting schedule set up for you today. I've been kind of tuning into the meetings of the past that I haven't been able to be at, or the ones that you guys don't let me come up and participate. We've had an awesome lineup, and we want to make sure that we continue with that today. So, we do, of course, want to start out with a little bit of safety. So let's take a look at some inspection numbers this week. Yeah, our inspections, we had 115 inspections. 68 of those were clean, so 59% clean rate. We're a little bit down from where we usually are. We're averaging about 66 this year for clean rate, but that number fluctuates, goes back and forth. We paid out $6,275 on clean inspections. And clean inspections, that's a good number. Give yourself a round of applause. While we're talking about inspections, I want to cover real quick this past week. FMCSA came out with our CSA scores. So Richard, if you could pull that up for me, or Brianne, up on the screen, you'll see our new CSA scores that were released this week. And we'll start out left to right. Hopefully y'all can see that, but unsafe driving. So basically when you're looking up there, you see the ones in the red, those are the ones we need to work on. We need to zero in on those ones in the red. We need to get those lower. Intervention rate for both those unsafe driving and hours of service is 65. We are currently at 79% on our unsafe driving. The month before, back in June, we were at 80%. So we did drop 1 percentage point, but we need to get that even lower than that. Our top violations: failure to obey traffic control device, cell phone, and seat belts. A lot of those is low-hanging fruit, folks. We can get better than that. You know, you got your seatbelt on, make sure it's on. Make sure it's over your shoulder, it's worn properly. If it's not, it's a violation. Cell phones, you can't be touching your cell phone at all. And I can tell you, we see a number of inspections. Georgia's good at it, Indiana, Illinois. A lot of these states, last week, we just saw a video in North Carolina. They're using AI technology on cell phones and seatbelts. So these states are getting smarter and smarter on detecting this, and then commercial motor vehicle can't be touching that cell phone. Matter of fact, there's more states passing cell phone laws on four-wheelers too as well. Missouri is one of those. The end of this month, we're going to have our state law on not using cell phones for cars as well. So that's good. That's what really needs to happen. But remember, when you're in your truck, you can't touch that cell phone. If it falls from your dash down on the ground, if you pick it up, you're in violation, even if you're not using it, or even if you're using a GPS. I hear that from a lot of drivers, but I'm using my GPS on myself. If it goes wonky on you, you can't touch it. So you can use the one-hand system as far as answering calls on your one-touch system. So like your headsets, some of you have, push a button, answer a call, that is legal. But caution you on that as well. Stay away from those long-winded conversations that you have with family members, because that's distracted driving. So we want to keep those conversations to a minimum. You need to talk to your family or loved ones. Wait till you're parked. Wait till you're at a truck stop or a rest area and you got time. You can sit back and you can have those conversations with the loved ones. So second violation, like I said, cell phones is number 2 and seatbelts is number 3. So really need to work on those, and just wanted to bring that up. And like Dennis says, we're very transparent. We're not perfect, and these scores show that. But we, you know, at the same sense. So you know, this is a compliance. CSA is, and so we're just not. We need to work on our compliance, and we need to get those numbers down. Because you know, bigger than this, well, they're just getting inspected. A lot of our shippers are looking at these scores too, as well. So. You know, it's Steve Woodkey and his crew in sales. They got to go in there and they got to battle some of this, and they got to be able to explain what we're doing. And this meeting's it. You know, just being transparent as we can be. So let's work on those. Hours of service, 14-hour violations are number 1. False record of duty status, and 11 hours. You know, I was just talking to Susan before I came over here. Susan Burns, she manages our hours of service department. You know, false logs, remember, if you're in a sleeper berth, you're in a sleeper berth. If you're off duty, you're off duty. If your truck's sitting at the house and you're off duty, you're off duty. Don't log yourself in the sleeper berth, because this is how it can get. Officer asks you, well, you're still being in sleeper berth for 48 hours, really? And you go, oh no, I was at home, I was off duty. Well, you just get a false log right there. You just admitted to the officer that you're not logging properly. And I know it seems pretty minor. It seems kind of, you know, nitpicky, I would call it. But that's all it takes. You tell the officer that's not right, well, you just falsified your logbook. So those situations do come up. So make sure if you're logging, you know, if you're in the sleeper berth, you're in the sleeper berth. If you're off duty, if you're on duty not driving, and you're sitting in the passenger seat, then you're on duty not driving. That's what it is. So, but keep that in mind. Just the small things, you know, making sure it's right, making sure you got your instruction card for your CD, for your e-logs, you got your spare logbook, all these small things, they all add up. So we can work on that as well. The rest of them we've done pretty well. Driver fitness, you know, we're doing well, 63, controlled substance and alcohol 7, going all the way across. Hazmat, that's kind of a volatile one. We had 2 bad inspections last month, 2 inspections, I should say, with violations. They weren't bad. Just that the driver lost his placards, both of them. And that bumped that score from 71 in June to 76 in July. So that's all it takes in hazmat. It doesn't take a whole lot, and it knocks that score up. But hopefully next month we'll get that back down again. The biggest improvement we saw, though, is probably the most important one up there, is our crash. In June, we're 61%, and now in July, we're 57. So we dropped that 4 percentage points. We've had a pretty good summer so far on accidents, Dennis, and let's keep that going, because that's what makes that score get even better. And you know, we're doing good on crash, but we can even get better. You know, those numbers are good, but let's keep dropping that score because that's one that really counts in my opinion. So any questions on CSA? Anybody have anything?
I'll follow up with you just a little bit. We talk about the crash basic, and, we're really coming down to really the end of that, 100 deadliest days of summer. That kind of ends right around, Labor Day. But the real end of summer, especially if you remember back to when you're a kid, is when it's time to go back to school. So, it's back to school time. You can probably tell from your social media feeds, little Dave White there holding up the little sign, I'm in the 19th grade,
I'm a slow learner. Give me a break, man.
But, in all seriousness, Springfield Public Schools starts not this coming Monday, but the Monday following that. A lot of other major metropolitan areas started this past week. So be on the lookout, not as big of a deal on the interstate, but as you get onto the city streets, school zones, school buses, you see that school bus stop sign, even if they're not in your lane, do not pass, stop. Believe it or not, kids may be doing some erratic things, especially at the beginning of the school year, getting on and off that school bus. So just be extra cautious, drive through there as if your own kids are getting on and off that school bus. And, it's just never a good thing to hurry. Typically when we're in these local jurisdictions where we're, arriving or departing a customer location, maybe even running tied up against an appointment, I'm telling you, I'd rather you be a few minutes late having to wait on that school bus than have to answer questions about why we bypassed the stop sign, on a school bus or, something maybe even more catastrophic.
That's true. And also, it's hard to believe this because we're all in shorts and T-shirts and flip-flops some of us have on, but winter's coming. And Colorado starts their chain law September 1st. So make sure you have your chains, cables on your truck if you're running I-70 west of Denver. And, this is just a reminder to put them on right now if you don't have them, because if they stop you, even in conditions like this, after September 1st, you don't have them on your truck, they can fine you, and they will. Those fines are very expensive. So be prepared. And auto socks you can use auto socks too. We have them down here in our company store, but if you want to run with chains and cables, you can do that. It's a little bit cheaper, but make sure they're on your truck. Because if those officers look for that and they stop you just to do a check, you need to have them. And so September 1st is that date. And, up in the mountains, winter starts flying a little bit earlier than it does down here. And that's the reason why they want you prepared, just in case you get one of those crazy storms roll through. And the way the weather's been the last few years, you don't know what you're going to get for sure. So it's all changed. So. Dave, typically we reserve the first 20 minutes to make sure we talk about safety. So I've got about 2 minutes left here, and I'll say this about our CSA scores, and then we'll move on to our next speaker. I don't like them. They look bad. It's not a fair representation of who we are as a company and who our driver base is. It doesn't mean that we're an unsafe company by any means. This is a compliance tool, all right? And, a lot of times when you get these write-ups, you don't get a citation. So you think you've gotten off with a warning, you beat the system, you got lucky today, but it's obviously reflected in these scores. So at the end of the day, we've got to take accountability for our actions or inactions in some of those situations. You are not immune no matter how long you've been here. Tonight, we're going to go and celebrate a handful of 1 million and 2 million mile drivers. Those folks that have earned those milestones, they're not immune to anything bad happening, and we'll go the gauntlet from just a write-up and increasing our CSA score to, something bad happening, catastrophic in an accident. So, take a look in the mirror, okay? If you've got a habit of fidgeting, touching that device, whether you're day one or 1 million miles, it's time to change that habit. All right. If the little things, if you've got a habit of logging, sleeper berth for your whole time home, but we know that's not right. Like Dave said, it's nitpicking, but it reflects in our scores. It's, we tell ourselves that, oh, it's not that big of a deal until we see the scores, until we have to answer questions, Steve Lucky, from our customers. What's going on with these scores? Well, it's not that big a deal. Well, let's treat it like a big deal.
Let's take personal accountability for our scores. Let's make the changes that we need to make and move forward from there. That's the type of company that we are. That's the culture of what we do. We don't go with blame, denial, and excuses. We go with personal accountability, and we'll get it fixed. I'll leave it there, and we'll move on to our next speaker. So,
Hold on one second. Yes.
do we have
Go
a
ahead.
question?
Yes. Back to this crash indicator. Is that from the truck taking over to stop us, or is it when you get that alert that, oh, you're too close?
On the CSA scores, it's off of DOT recordable accidents.
Oh,
So it has nothing to do with critical events. No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's all DOT recordable accidents. So an accident involving somebody getting towed due to disabling damage, accident where somebody gets transported because they need medical treatment, or there's a fatality involved. Those get calculated in, and that's how that score comes up. Yep.
Does Prime look at those when the truck takes over to, maybe better educate the drivers? Or is that just something that just,
When we review an accident, we get into everything.
well, I'm not
Yeah.
talking about an accident. I'm talking about when your truck takes over because for whatever reason that your truck takes over and applies them brakes. Does Prime look into that?
So
Yeah,
yes,
sure.
it's a simple answer to your question. We evaluate every single critical event, and without going into a full dissertation of kind of what our practice is, essentially, if you get a critical event within a reasonable amount of time, there should be some communication with your fleet manager to give you some coaching on what happened. All right, and
That's still not addressing the question. The question is, when that truck takes over, it doesn't always take and throw up a critical event, but like even as little as seeing a cone on the side of the road and then brakes get applied. Does Prime
that will generate a critical event.
Okay.
All right, and to address that, and we won't spend a bunch of time on it. We can talk about it in detail after the meeting. Sometimes we do get some ghost ones. It catches an overpass, or like you said, a barrel from a construction site on the side. We go through that in extreme detail with every single one. So yes, is the answer to your question. All right.
All right, Dennis, real quick here. September 1st is our truck driving championships here in Springfield. So if you want to sign up, get signed up for them, let us know. Trish Brewer has a list as well. So if you want to contact Trish, all drivers are eligible just so you have a CDL. You need to have a CDL. If you don't have a CDL yet, then you can't drive in a competition. But it doesn't matter what C-Class, B2, B1. Doesn't matter if you've had a ticket or an accident. Just show up and have fun. We'll have a good time out here on our training pads, Stan Casterkey and myself, and maybe a couple guests. We're going to be setting up the course this year, so could be interesting. We haven't done one in a while, but I guess we're going to have to brush off ourselves and get used to it. So back to the old school, but we'll get there. And then at the TDC too, we also have our cookout, and then John Blancett and his staff will be out there. They're cooking burgers and dogs, and music will be playing. We'll have a good time.
Crab legs.
That's at the picnic.
Crab legs.
No, we have that TDC. You got that set up?
No, the
Oh,
next
okay.
day.
No, next day. Okay. Yeah. So the next day we got crab legs. Yeah, at our picnic as well. So, and that just, it's a real fun weekend overall. Picnic, like I said earlier, bingo and everything else going on, water rides for the kids and different types of rides. So yeah, I'm trying to plan to be there. It's a fun time. We have a good time. I know we all work hard here. We all spend a lot of hours here, but end of the day, sometimes you need to have fun, and that's just what we do, to have a good time and get to know each other a little bit better off of work, so to speak, at a picnic. So, but yeah, it'll be a good time, Dennis. We're going to have you there, hopefully. Right?
Yeah, you can find me first in line to get crab legs.
Crab legs. Yeah. So,
All right,
go ahead. Who we got?
Let's keep it going. All right. So first, we've got Kobe. Do we have Rachel here with us? But just Kobe gonna come here and talk about driver health and fitness.
Man, what'd you do with Rachel? You leave her upstairs?
Yeah, it's just me. Sorry,
Oh,
guys. Sorry to
geez.
disappoint. I know. So hi, guys. I'm Colby with our Driver Health and Fitness Department. Real quick, I just want to update you guys on a couple things and kind of let you know how to get in touch with us. First things first, our summer stride we've been doing, we have that going on still. Right now, our drivers are about 2,000 miles away from beating in-house by a landslide, but in-house, we're kind of gaining some traction. So again, that's just walk a mile or as many miles as you walk, get on our Driver Health and Fitness website and log it. just kind of a fun competition back and forth. Other thing about the picnics, and so in Pittston this weekend, actually tomorrow we're going to do in the morning, we're going to do a 1 mile fun walk. So in Pittston, if you're there, join us in the morning. We're going to do a little 1 mile around the yard kind of area or across the street. And then have all three picnics. So Pittston, Salt Lake, and in Springfield, actually me or a part of our team will be there with a truck kind of showing how to do some exercises and kind of move in and out of truck, answer any questions we can while we're there. But we just want to be a resource for you. So again, all three locations at all terminals, we have our fitness facility and a trainer. So we have Maria in Pittston, Matt in Salt Lake, and myself and Johanna and Rachel are here. So fitness, nutrition questions, we're always here to help. So that's all I got. But any questions, anybody? Nothing?
Any questions, Colby?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Have we talked about how many laps around a truck's a mile loaded? I already mentioned it once.
Dennis, help me out. 33.
33, Adam. That's what I'm talking about. There you go. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
You know, Kobe, I may look slow, but I'm not slow.
I'm still in 19th grade, so give me a break.
I might look slow, but I'm not slow. So I pay attention just a little bit. So, you know, throughout these meetings, we try to make it a point to highlight some of the vendors and some of the services that are available here. We're going to have 2 today. So I'm going to ask Dr. Marcel Popa to come up, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Dr. Popa here for just a second. So, you know, and I don't remember how long you've been here, but before you came, you know, I think they sent out a survey. They said, hey guys, if there was a chiropractor on the facility, would you use it? I clicked no. No, never been to a chiropractor, probably never going to go. Now, you know, I just went this week, you know, saw Dr. Popa this week, and it was recommended to me by a friend. I was having some lower back issues, having some neck issues and shoulder issues. It's like, go to a chiropractor. It's like, I'm not going to a chiropractor. But, you know, I took the leap. I did it. Now I am a firm believer in the services that you provide. So this is Dr. Marcel Popa. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Dennis. Good morning.
Good morning.
How many of you guys have you been to a chiropractor before? Quite a few of you guys. So just for a little bit, I'm just going to talk about something called longevity. What's the secret to having a good car, a good truck for a long time? Anyone? What do you think? Maintenance. That's it. Same thing in any profession, especially drivers. You know, and I know we all have that friend, that family member that smokes, drinks, eats chips and ice cream all day and lives to 105. But I'm going to talk to us humans today, not those aliens. Most of us, we look at food and we gain weight, right? Come on, somebody. Okay. So what's the secret to having a good, long driver profession? It's taking care of yourself, taking care of your body. And part of it is chiropractic, your spine. You only have one spine, and I've never heard a person that had a spine transplant. And so we weren't created, we weren't designed to sit all day. And as you can see, and you know better than anyone, you sit a lot. And so all that pressure, tension adds up on your back, on your spine. You get tensions, you get problems if you don't take care of it in time. And so you don't have to be hurting to see a chiropractor. You know, Dennis waited, you know, quite a bit. He waited until he was tired. He had some issues. He came in and was like, hey, man, come on. You should have known about this earlier. So you don't wait. Hopefully you don't wait until a truck breaks down and then you start maintenance. I hope that's not how you do it. Unfortunately, most people, that's how they go to a chiropractor. They'll crawl in my office, you know, and like, doc, I got a problem. I'm like, no kidding. When was the last time you've been to a chiropractor? Oh, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago. Why? So I recommend that you see a chiropractor every 2 or 3 months at least, because you guys sit a lot. And so I honestly tell you that chiropractic for you guys is not an option. Period. It's mandatory. because you guys sit a lot. And eventually you will go to a chiropractor because of your sitting. And so I recommend that you see one on a regular basis, even if you're not hurting. If you're hurting, you might wait it too long. It might take a little bit. So that's the problem. If you waited that long where you crawl into my office, it might take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 visits. If you keep up with maintenance every 2 or 3 months, that's the best way to do it. Are we still friends? Okay, I got a few here. Are we still friends? Okay, so how do you sign up? You go online. We have a nice website. You go at chiro@prime.com. There's a link to your app. I think they're going to help you out with the link, right? On social media. It's very easy. You don't have to create an account. It's so, I mean, a caveman could do it. 20 seconds and you got your, right? Am I right? Mr. Jim? Yeah. Come on. It's so easy to book your appointment. It's really easy. You just pick the time that you want, put your information and click, that's it. I take walk-ins if I'm not that busy. Mondays, Tuesdays, usually I'm really busy. If you walk in, I'll tell you, listen, I'm with the patient. I'm not gonna book your own appointment. Go online and book yourself an appointment. But if I'm not busy, I'll see you right away. So you can pay with your badge. If you have a purple badge, who's got a purple badge? Most of you guys. Or cash or check. I don't take credit cards. I'm not set up for the credit cards, but it's very, very easy to get an appointment with me. I'm only here at the Springfield location, so yeah, you have to drive to Springfield to see me, but you can book ahead. You can book ahead a week, 2, 3 weeks ahead. If you know you're coming through, just go online and book yourself an appointment. It costs $40. We got 3 different packages, 40, 45, or 50. $40 will do it. It's basically consultation, treatment, all the chiropractic adjustments and traction included. Everything is included. The 45, you add some electrodes on there, some tension. If you're really tight or you got some inflammation going, I'll throw some electrodes on you. That's an extra $5. And then for 50, we'll add up some taping. If you sprain your shoulder or your, I don't know, your neck or something, I might have to tape you, then it's an extra $5. But $40 will do it. You do get a discount, a big discount. If I have anyone from outside Prime coming in, it's almost double. So Prime does bend backwards for you guys. And the only reason I'm here is you guys. Honestly, they brought me here to take care of you guys. So I'd say take advantage. I'm not trying to milk any visits off of anyone. I know that money don't grow on trees, but it's $40, guys. It's your back. It's your career, your profession. If you want to be in this business for a while, I'd say take care of your back. I mean, you see the wellness guy was here, Kobe. They're all here for you guys. We're all here to help you guys. And one more last thing. I was in the bathroom and I heard somebody talking on the phone, and his concern was that, oh, Prime has this chiropractor here in the medical office, and they're all, basically his concern was that I would report to Prime if I would find some back issues and that somehow you would get fired. That is not the case. I'm independent. I do not report anything to Prime. By the way, one of the forms that you sign in when you come in my office is that I do not share your information with anyone, including the doctor's office. That's HIPAA. There you go. Thank you. And so you shouldn't be concerned. Even if you crawl into my office, I want you to get better. The sooner the better, and to go back and work and make money. It's all about making money, making bank, like Mr. Lowe says. I love that. It's all about that. You know, trying to get you better, not to be a stumble block and get you fired. That's not the case. Okay? Thank you, guys. God bless you guys.
All right, don't go too far. Don't go too far. So let's talk real quick. You got to slide over since we were recording.
Oh,
You got to
okay.
be in the
Oh,
middle.
my Lord.
You got to be in the middle.
Where's
So,
the camera?
so you know, the middle is that exit sign right there.
Oh,
All right, there you go.
nice.
All right, so you know, just real quick, 30 seconds or less. You know, somebody comes in just for a normal, quick adjustment. Tell us really quick, what you go through.
So There's 5 minutes of paperwork, maybe less, just a few forms, like I said, the HIPAA and some basic information from everyone. And then we'll do a little bit of consultation. I'll ask you what happened. Was there accident involved or some basic family history, maybe some medical history. Just want to see how you are, if you had any surgeries. And after the consultation, we'll look at you. Obviously, I don't have an X-ray unit here, but I would only require an X-ray of you if there was a trauma involved. If, let's say, there was a recent accident, you fell off, from a tree, or if I suspect a fracture, basically, or if I suspect cancer, then I'll send you out for an X-ray. But I don't need an X-ray just because you're tired, just because you're driving, just because you're out of whack. And so we'll go through some orthopedic tests, and then we'll treat you. I can treat you so many ways. I can do manual adjustment. There's people that are like, oh, I don't know about that cracking. It's okay. I have tables that I can use the tables. I can use some instruments, some clicking, some activators. And then after I'm done with that, I have a table that decompresses you. It pulls you apart. That's actually very good for someone that sits all day. And so after I do that, I adjust you. I put you on a roller bed. A lot of people fall asleep on that table. And so I'm not one of those in and out guys where you come in, you pay and buy, get cracked and out. See you tomorrow, 3 times a week for the rest of your life. That's not what I do. The reason I'm here and the reason Prime called me when Mr. Dean and Dr. Abraham were looking for a chiropractor, they called me because they knew how I treat people. I'm not one of those guys where you come in, okay, you sign up for a lifetime, 3 times a week for the rest of your life. That's not what I do. I'm here to help you guys, and I treat you the way I would somebody want to treat. Sorry, it's my English. English is my second language. I treat you guys the same way I would want somebody to treat my wife. Okay, that's the way I treat you guys, like family. Okay, I'm not treating you like a number, like just a paycheck. I want you guys to feel good and do good. Okay, so
That was a lot longer than 30 seconds.
I'm sorry,
But I think we got a question here in the back.
I'm a preacher, man. Woo.
We got a question here in the back.
Yes, so I think this is something that other drivers experience, but I've noticed that when I lay down for long periods of time in the back of a truck, like, for longer than 12 hours, my back and my sides get sore for laying down too much. Is that normal?
Is that normal? Of course, it's normal when you lay down for that long. But that's why I tell people a good mattress makes a difference. Don't be cheap about these mattresses. A good mattress will save your back. Also, good back support. The store has it. Look for the purple one. I like that one. You want to have a good back support because it's only going to help you. And so, when was the last time you seen a chiropractor?
A few years ago, I guess.
A few years ago. So that's one of the problems. Tensions adds up. You don't see it, but you feel it. That's just a symptom of what's going on with your back. And I'd say take care of it, the sooner the better. Because it's only going to build, it's going to build, it's going to build. And one day you're going to bend down to pick up a napkin. Literally somebody bent down to pick up a napkin and he threw out a disc. Why? Because over time, tensions and tensions and tensions and tensions, and eventually that disc gave. And so, yeah, don't wait that long. Yeah.
Hey, I got a
And
deal
listen,
for you.
even if you don't come see me, go somewhere else. If you're in LA, Houston, whatever, go see a chiropractor. You don't have to come see me. Maybe you don't like me. It's fine. Go see somebody else.
Hey, I like you. You got availability
too.
for walk-ins today?
You should, yeah.
All right, hey, if you want to go, what's your name?
Will Reed.
Will, if you want to go today, I'll pay for your appointment today. You got to go today, though.
Anybody
All right,
else?
there you go.
Anybody else?
No, just one.
Come on now. I tried.
Just one. Just one. So we got Will today. I'll go ahead and take care of you. Just, get an appointment with Dr. Popo right after the meeting. So, hey, thanks,
Thank you, guys.
Doc.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you, David.
Good information right there, man.
Man, that dude liked the microphone more than me.
Man, he's taking money out of your pocket too. I like
know.
this, how this works. This
I
is great.
know, this is crazy. All right, what we got up next?
Let's get company store with this morning. We got Summer Long with us. Come on up here, Summer. What you got for us today?
I got some hats for y'all today. I see a lot of hat lovers, or you may know one. We have such a large variety of selection from Adidas, Richardson, Dry Duct, and so on. We rotate quite regularly, and about 98% of them, Teddy and Krista touch every single one for Pittston, Salt Lake, the online store, Springfield. They put all their touch on it with the embroidery. Our two newest ones are the Pitbull. I got several selections. And then also the Richardson patch hat. And I have them to give away today if you'd like.
All right. You got a question? Let's throw a question out there. Make them earn it.
My first question is, if you've been in the Springfield store, you've probably seen our window display behind the registers, and it says 93 degree longitude and 37 degree latitude. Sorry. What does that stand for?
Is that True North? True North?
I don't know. I think so. I'm not 100% sure on that. Sorry.
Guess what, man? You answered the question.
Oh, I think she is.
Oh, what else? Oh, go.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
The degrees the store's located at?
Yes.
That's it. All right. Which hat would you like? The green one? All right. Got another question, Summer?
If the company store is closed, where is the second location you can pick up a alloy lock?
That was a pink shirt. Choose first.
Either Salt Lake City or Pittston or online. Or driver
That is
lineup.
technically correct, or driver lineup at all locations, yeah, or Plaza Building.
All right. All right. Thank you, Summer. Anything else you need to add before?
No, thank you.
I know you got a lot of neat stuff down there. You got
Oh, yeah.
coverings inside the trucks and all that.
We do. And a little side note to our Zen clips, they are also help for the winter to keep heat in. So it'll insulate your windows. And auto socks, we have an abundance of them. So like Dave said and Dennis said earlier, September 1st, come see us before then. At all 3
All right.
locations, and you can see the primingstore.com too if you don't end up at a location.
All right. Good deal. Any questions for Summer? All right. Big round of applause for her. Good job. Thank you, Summer. They got everything down there, man. I know last time you tried to charge something on my tab and that caught you.
Well, maybe. Hey, let's keep rolling. All right. So, part of, safety is number one. All right. That's going to be our main focus, but service is the kind of the 1A right behind that. It is so important that we provide the service that we promise our customer. Of course, we always talk about that being, picking up and delivering on time. That's a given, but also a part of customer service is not wrecking their product. That's an easy one. But of course, we're a refrigerated company, so we don't want to show up with the temperature off or, anything like that. So we've got Jeff Chisholm. He's been up here a couple times here lately. This kind of being one of our hot button issues here, but we also always want to talk cargo claim prevention. So good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jeff Chisholm. I'm in our claim department. I think I need to go see Dr. Popa. My back was hurting from leaning on the wall over there. Anyway, I want to share some items with you today. Hopefully, maybe give you some new information on some claim prevention, some things to look out for. Dennis kind of led me into the first one, and for our reefer group, I always like to talk about temperatures. Probably a topic you get a little tired of hearing about, but guys, I cannot stress enough how important it is to verify the temp on your bills. When you get your load assignment and you guys go through live dispatch and everything with your live depart call, look for that temperature on the bill. Make sure you circle it, make sure you verify it. One of the worst things in the world is for us to deliver a load that's at the wrong temp. That is one of our biggest claim expenses. In addition to that, guys, make sure you're getting your bills signed. We have a lot of customers that have some difficult bills. If you guys haul meat, you probably know what I'm talking about. You get a whole stack of bills and there's several POs and a PO on every bill. We've got to get all those signed. Look at your bills closely. Make sure you get all of them signed. Make sure that all the count is being signed for. I mean, if there's 1,000 cases, make sure they sign for 1,000 cases. Or if you see anything that looks out of the ordinary, overage, shortage, damage, call our claim department and let us help you out with that. In addition to that, make sure you're scanning all of your bills. I happen to be holding a set of bills right now. This is kind of a pet peeve of mine, but this is a 2-drop load where we have no signatures for the first stop, none. This is a $25,000 claim I'm holding in my hand right now. And keep in mind that a lot of these customers, they don't even know about this until months later. For example, when JBS didn't receive payment from this receiver, then they started calling Prime asking for a proof of delivery, and we couldn't provide it. So guys, I can't stress how important this is. I mean, this is our job. This is our POD. This is our proof of delivery. A couple other things I want to talk about. If you yes.
Now, as a reefer driver, we go to 1 million customers every year. 99% of them do not want to sign for our bills. So and therefore now you're in that position. What are we supposed to do at that point in time?
Contact your fleet manager or contact claims. Honestly, I see signed bills every day. I would not think 99% of our customers refuse to sign for bills, but I mean, this is our proof of delivery.
I promise you, I am not lying on that.
Yeah.
They won't sign for seal.
They won't sign for seal, but they'll sign for your bills. I mean, we have to have something that shows that we delivered the product. I mean, we had to have a proof of delivery. And I would go as far as saying if someone won't do that, then bring it to our attention and let us talk to our customer and resolve the issue. If you ever have product that's reconsigned, sometimes you get refusals. Make sure that reconsignment signs the bills, signs for that product. And always turn in donation receipts if you had those as well. I do want to remind everybody to check your trailers. Had 3 situations this week where we had meat refused. We did not check our trailers and we found the meat many hours later. You probably know what condition that meat was in at that time. So make sure you check those carefully. You mentioned seal records, customers not signing for seals. Watch your meat loads again. That's the customers that typically file claims for shortages. So if they won't sign for your seals on your meat loads, especially your Tyson fresh meat, let us know and let us help you out there. Load locks, a lot of you guys haul produce, reefer guys. Please use your load locks. I would say 1 load lock is not enough. I would always recommend 3. And we never want to haul a produce load without load locks. If it's preloaded, talk to us. We'll probably break the seal and put those load locks in. If you don't think they will fit, sometimes our Taylor Logistics loads are loaded all the way to the back door. Do not leave the shipper without load locks. We will have that customer rearrange that trailer so you can secure it. And I will probably kind of wrap up here by saying we're hauling a lot of product in hot temperatures right now. So watch your reefers carefully, watch your alerts carefully, be proactive. If you see something that's going wrong, contact your fleet manager, contact your road assist. We don't have a lot of time to save some of these loads when we're in 100-degree ambient temps. So just be proactive and watch those carefully. And, you guys work hard for your money. So, pay close attention to this stuff, pay attention to detail, make good habits, and contact claims if you need any help. Okay, any other questions? All right.
All right,
Thank you, guys.
Jeff will be hanging out over here after the meeting. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to stop by and hit him up. Really kind of the theme that I'm here. Dave, you went in depth about some of the violations on CSA. Chisholm talked about some cargo claims. It's really, let's do it right the first time. Jeff talked about, showing up at a customer hours later with some hot meat on the trailer. That kind of gives us some indication that we didn't do a couple things. We didn't We didn't lock that empty trailer. We didn't walk that trailer. We didn't take it to get it washed out. All these little things that we didn't get done. And now this situation identifies a whole list of things that we could have done just to prevent that one thing. So, really the theme of all of this is let's do it the right way the first time. So
that's it right there. And small things make a big difference. There's no doubt. So, I heard a very smart person up here before say, you take ownership in what you touch around here. And that's very true. That trailer's yours. Yeah, Prime may own it, but it's yours. That product on there is yours. A bill of lading, you're responsible for. So if you don't understand it, and I understand, yeah, I've looked at some bills too, especially on hazmat loads that get sent to me. It takes me a few minutes to figure out what's on there. And sometimes it takes me longer than that. I got to get a hold of the customer because it's not always easy to read. But if you got questions, you're at the customer, man, you get your bills, you go, hold on one second. Can you help me here? And just have them go over it with you. If they're not willing to, get hold of your fleet manager and say, hey, something's not right. Even where the load's going to, the small things like we're talking about, make sure the load's going to the right location, what your Qualcomm says where you're going to. We don't want a truck going the wrong direction because you're on a wrong load because the customer loaded the wrong freight. We take care of it right there at the customer. So doing the small things correctly makes the difference.
All right, who do we got next?
All right, let's bring up, I know it's not tax season, but really it's tax season for our independent contractors, 12 months a year. So we haven't had her up here in a long time. So we got Terry from Abacus coming up here. So good morning, Terry. Thank you for coming.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh, love that. Love that. That's wonderful. Yes, it's tax season all year long. And first off, I have to tell you all how much we respect you and what you do. What you've chosen is a very hard life because you make a lot of sacrifices, and we understand that. We really do, and we appreciate everything that you do. But we're here to help you through that because this may be a hard life, but it's also a very rewarding life. You all can make a lot of money at that, and you want to be able to keep the money that you make, correct? Okay, so that's the reason why Abacus is here is because we want to help you keep as much of that money as possible, okay? Information is power, okay? And so we're here to give you the information to help you through that. We're so excited. I'm not for sure if everybody knows this yet, but we have an office here in this terminal, but now we have some staff up in Pittston. So excited for that. Danielle is there. She will be there from 8 to 5 Eastern time, their time, every day. Next week, we got a couple of days of training, but she will be there all the time. And that will also help you all and benefit you all. If you're in that area, she's there to be able to help you with that. We haven't forgot Salt Lake. We're working on it. Want to get there as well. Very excited about it. But some information, let's get back to that. Third quarter estimate is coming. So if you're a lease or owner op, you need to be paying your quarterly estimates. Make sure that you're doing that, you're aware of it, and you have something that you've set aside to be able to start taking care of those taxes. Then the final filing deadline. So in April, if you didn't file those tax returns, you file an extension. April 15th, well, it's the 16th this year because 15th falls on a Sunday. So the 16th is your final filing deadline. Make sure you get your taxes filed. We talked about keeping as much money as you want to keep. You do not want to continually add penalties on there because you didn't file. That's your money, okay? Make sure you file your tax return. If you need help with that, come and see us. If you have an accountant or someone that you work with, go get it done. I know it's a pain. I know nobody likes to do it, but make sure that you are doing it, okay? You be in charge of that because if you don't file it, the IRS will. They'll file a return for you. Betsy here is in our tax resolution department, so I brought her with us to talk about a few things that you all need to be aware of.
Yeah, so October 16th is going to be the 1040. That's the individual filing deadline. However, if any of you are part of a partnership or S corporation, that deadline is actually September the 15th. So that's coming right around the corner. Those penalties can get rather high. 25% of the tax that you are owed, that you have to pay them, can be an extra penalty. So if you owe $10,000 in taxes, if you file after October the 15th, you're looking at $2,500 in penalties to make that a really real number to you. So don't file them late. You had a 6-month extension if you filed one. And really to tie in some of the things that have been talked about last week and today, I just want to talk about a couple of questions that I get in the office. And if you get a fine or a ticket, is that deductible? And the answer to that is no. If you break the law, the IRS says that is not deductible. That is not ordinary or necessary for you to run your business. However, remediation services, like if you get legal counsel to get your license into good standing or to get in compliance with the law, that is deductible. Another item, we had the people from health and fitness up here. And this is kind of one of those gray areas, but we have a lot of people who do Uber expenses, travel expenses away from the home. When you are traveling and you've got that truck parked, you might need to be traveling from one place to another to go to the store or whatever it is that you're doing whenever the truck is stopped. Those travel expenses are deductible as long as you have a home that you're traveling away from. So some people, I've seen a lot of bicycles on expense records. As long as it's not an exercise bike and it's for traveling purposes, that bike can be deductible. If you have COM data fees because you need to get cash or pay for something when you're out on the road, those fees are deductible. As a lease driver, you're able to deduct more expenses than company drivers just because of the Tax Cuts and Job Act. So just be aware that we want you to deduct everything that you are eligible to deduct because we want you to pay as little tax as possible. But there is also a caveat. If you're claiming things that are not actual deductions and you're just trying to avoid taxes, we don't want you to get into tax evasion or have the issue of when you want to get a loan and you claim too much in expenses that were not real, that you can't have that capacity. So talk to a CPA, talk to an accounting firm that understands trucking specifically to help you with your taxes. Like she said, we have an office there in Pittston. We're here, we're available on the phone. We've got resources online to help you.
Yep, absolutely. We just appreciate you all. Thank you.
Any questions for anybody out in the crowd?
Come see us. We're right upstairs.
Good job.
All right, thanks, guys. So we're wrapping it up, coming to an end here. So we got to take care of a few housekeeping deals. So, not a lot of people mentioned the app today, but, Prime mobile app, I think, is the most useful tool that any truck driver at Prime can have out there. So if you haven't downloaded, and it's probably not a lot of you that haven't, I think it's well over 95% of drivers that are downloaded and actively using it. But if you haven't, or if you're having issues with it, we've got our experts over here on the right, Richard and Brianne, that can get you taken care of. Come on up after the meeting and they can answer any questions that you might have. So
Also, any topics you want to listen to or you want to hear from us or questions you may have, send them in. Send them in. Jamie's over here. She's on the computer, and or just tell us, and we'll try to bring it up next week. I already know we got a couple for next week already in the pipeline. But any speakers you want to hear from, payroll, maintenance. I think we're going to have maintenance back next week. But hey, let us know. That's what this meeting is. Your meeting. So whatever you need to hear and what you want to hear, that's what we're here for. So
excellent. So also, you look around the room, a lot of the speakers, vendors back there, associates around the room. A lot of folks are wearing red. It's an acronym, RED. Remember, everyone deployed. We are a company that we pay homage and respect to folks that served and defended and protected our freedom. So for just a quick second, for anyone that served in the armed forces at any of our locations, if you would do us the honor and stand and give us the opportunity to recognize you. Thank you so much for your service. So we'll kind of wind it down. I took a whole bunch of your time today. So, sorry. This is Steve Wucky. He's our VP of Sales and Marketing.
I want you to fork over another 45. I want to get out and see Dr. Polk, man. That's a great deal.
Hey, you and I travel a lot. Robert's got me back there and coached by the bathroom. He got you up there in first class.
No, not often, but thank you. Appreciate y'all. Just a couple of things I'd like to revisit. These CSA scores that we're talking about, they really are not reflective, in my opinion, of how safe we truly are. But the problem is this. It shows that we're not being compliant with some of these requirements. And many of our customers have private fleets, and they are also being evaluated. So when they overlay their scores, which are very much better, improved than ours, they just have a hard time with it. And I think I submit to you that a lot of this is low hanging fruit, seat belts. I mean, phones, you know, this is stuff that it's for your safety. I mean, you should buckle up every time you get in your truck. I mean, it's about safety. Yeah, we need to get the scores down, but think about yourself and think about what seat belts really do. So please consider that. We need to work on these scores. We need to improve them, and I'm confident that we can, and it's not going to be that much of an inconvenience at all. You know, this artificial intelligence that the North Carolina is using now, where they're looking in the truck and they can see if you've got your phone in your hand or whatever, or if your seatbelt's buckled, that's going to spread because it's a revenue producing thing. And these states, they need revenue. So you're the perfect source of that revenue. So please be compliant, be careful, operate safely. You know, our service has been extremely good. What we sell is what you give us to sell. And we have the best product in the industry because you all do it right. I thank you very much for that. It is a little challenging right now. We're seeing things pick up a little bit. Back to school will help us all a lot. So we get some things going around here that will create more velocity of turn for you all and improve your earnings again. So hang in there. It's just a cycle. These seasons, these years are up and down. We've had a great couple of years before this one. It's very cyclical. It'll come back, and it'll come back because people that underprice their service are not going to make it in this environment. So, you know, the supply of equipment and trucks is going to diminish. That's going to be in our favor. We'll get that volume back. They need the service, and you all do it again better than anyone. So I can't thank you enough for that. I'm going to get Robert to come up here. Yeah, he started this a few years ago. Also, quite a few years ago. I'll also talk to those folks in Pittston. We'll see you tonight and see you million milers. We're looking forward to it. Thank you again very much. And one thing about you get a receiver that won't sign the bills, just make a note, get his name, report it, write on it, won't sign for the product, make note with your fleet manager. These guys will fight those claims. They've got your interest at heart. And we want to be fair with our customers, but we don't want to give money away. We don't want to give anybody's money away. So
yeah,
hang in there.
If we don't have any proof that we delivered that load, man, we're hanging out. You know, we got to have that signature or a name or some kind of way to resolve it. We don't want to be delivering loads without any proof that we delivered.
Don't be a victim. Just find a way.
Yeah, don't be a victim. Fight back. Steve, thank you. Pittston, you guys better be ready to party down tonight because Steve and I are on the way, and we are gonna shake it up, baby. No, it's good to see you all. Appreciate what you do. You know, everybody, you know, with the business kind of slow, people might say, well, what's the strategy? You know, what's the strategy? What are you guys doing up there in the Eiffel Tower, you know, where Steve hangs out? And you better not be flying first class on me, Doug.
No way.
Because I ain't paying it. You're going to pay the difference. We have a strategy. And, you know, it's been kind of painful. You know, we're off. We're down. Our fleet size has been reduced 400 trucks from our peak. Our strategy is to let the attrition take its toll, you know, cut the tail off the worm, let the fleet size come down, sell those trucks, whatever, leaving more freight for those that are here. It's working. I mean, you know, we're still over $5,000 per truck per week on average, and that's a number that our competitors would die for. They would love to have that number. So the strategy's working. When business picks up, we'll add back. We'll add back. You know, we're a growth company. We love growth. It makes a lot of opportunities. But, you know, right now, to grow into this environment, not very smart. You'd fire me if I was doing that. So we're letting the fleet size come down, leaving more freight for those of us that are left, and it's working. It's working just great. I appreciate what y'all are doing. Your service makes it all possible. God bless you, and please be safe.